What up, Entourage? Everybody, welcome. Week 3, we are here. Start sits, guys, and I've been really digging into these games. I don't know if you guys have noticed. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Please give me a like, give me a sub. It's always much appreciated. Helps my algorithm and helps me keep going. Because I'll tell you this, guys, it takes a lot of hard work. Takes a lot of hard work and dedication. If you've noticed, I've been on fire lately. If you've saw my buy, sell, hold video, my waiver wires, a lot of stuff I've been talking about has come into fruition because not only do I research numbers, but even more importantly, I watch film. That's why when everybody was telling you to start Gardner Minshew and Keenan Cole, I told you guys to pass. In order for me to keep bringing that heat, guys, I do need your support. I created a Patreon. You could help me for just $1 a month. Or if you guys want to do the premium in-season content, it's $10 a month. But if you DM me on the side, I'll give you the whole season for $20. And if you're wondering what that is, it's the best thing out there because I really make it easy and guide you throughout the season in the sense that you're getting my top waiver wire gems and free agents. You're getting my top trade targets, who to buy, sell, hold, the complete list, not just the few that I gave in my video. And then Thursday, I do a rankings before the Thursday night games. And today, those of you who have the premium content should have received the email for the PPR rankings. I'll be sending the standards right after this video. And again, I'm going to be doing a Patreon link. So every little bit counts. And then last but not least, guys, a lot of people in my DFS group won some money last week. Like I said, with your support, I'm able to do this full time. And we just keep getting better and better. And there's going to be some big winners, believe it or not. So if you are a DFS player, let me know. I've been to the DFS World Championships. I've won over 6 figures. They're really good in this last slate as well. So let me know about that, guys. Well, I'm not going to waste any more time. The reason you're here, guys, your week 3 start sits. Let's get it. All right, Chicago Bears and Atlanta Falcons. Oh, and by the way, you could always super chat me at any time. That is also much appreciated. And that could be for any amount. So, Bears and Falcons. Bears defense has been really good, actually a lot better than I expected. So I don't expect this to be a particularly high-scoring game. You know, Matt Ryan has those fluky games. So, you know, if you have Matt Ryan, you probably starting him, but I don't view him as a must-start, especially if Julio does not play. And it's looking like that. Kendall Fuller, or Calvin Ridley, I should say, will probably see a lot of Kendall Fuller. I'm not as high as on Calvin Ridley when Julio's not in the game, especially against Kendall Fuller and the Chicago Bears. To me, this is a great start for Hayden Hurst. He is my favorite Atlanta Falcon this week. Todd Gurley, if you got him, I mentioned in my last video or the one before that. No, maybe it was my last video. No, it was the one before that because I did the Thursday night game preview. But yeah, it's a Hayden Hurst game. So that's my favorite player. Get rid of Gurley. In the Chicago side of the ball, this is a great game for Allen Robinson to break out. He's had 9 targets in each of his first 2 games. And, you know, the matchups, Giants Bradbury's playing very good. Joe Judge got those boys playing, so Giants might look like a soft matchup on paper. And then he had the first week, I believe, Trufant was still playing for Detroit. So this is definitely a potential blow-up game for Allen Robinson. I think David Montgomery has looked fantastic. He's trending upward. I mentioned that in my trade target video. I had him as a hold, but he's more for a buy because Atlanta, they're pretty stout against the run, but historically they've been bad against pass-catching backs. So David Montgomery is the type of back that can do both. Plus, he's their goal line back. So I think him and Allen Robinson are great starts. I don't know if I trust Trubisky yet. He still has a lot of bust potential. But Hayden Hurst on Atlanta and the 2 starts I like on the Bears side is Allen Robinson and David Montgomery. Moving on to the next game, Rams versus Bills. I think this and the Seattle-Dallas game are the 2 best games. It's very interesting because the Rams and the Bills both have good defenses and good offenses. I trust the Bills offense more because I trust Josh Allen more. I think he's really coming into his own. I think Goff is more of a system quarterback that is prone to have those clunker games. It's at Buffalo, so yeah, that doesn't exactly bode well. Well, there's no fans, so maybe it's a little different. Maybe Goff will catch a break here, but I feel like I'm not quite sure where this game will go. I do believe there's holes in both defenses. Now, the Rams' hole is the running game. I went back and looked at the film. I thought Singletary looked quite impressive. He's looked better than Zach Moss. All the talk that Zach Moss was getting in the preseason, Singletary's looked better. He's looked like the better pass catcher and the better ball carrier. Well, now he's got the entire backfield to himself, and they're soft since they had to face Zeke and Miles Sanders their first 2 weeks. But we know last year they were bad against pass catching backs. Singletary could be both. The only thing you worry about is whether Josh Allen will vulture some touchdowns. But I think Singletary is an excellent start this week. If you drafted him, now would be the time to use him. I also, in the Rams side of the ball, Buffalo's side of the ball, Diggs is going to be matched up against Ramsey. I wouldn't necessarily sit him because Diggs is special. He's that good. He's matchup proof, but obviously it's not the best matchup for Diggs. Same thing with Allen, but I think Allen, with his running game, with his ability to run the football, I think he'll be able to overcome the Rams at home. So especially when the Rams have to travel, even though they don't have to face the Buffalo home crowd, they have to go from the West Coast to the East Coast, which usually never bodes well. So I do like Allen. I love Singletary. Diggs is okay, not the best matchup, but you have to start him. He's Stephon Diggs. On the Rams side of the ball, the only one that really stands out to me is Cooper Kupp. Buffalo, as great as their defense has been, they have been horrible against the slot. Crowder ate him up the first week. And then we had even Isaiah Ford had like a career high, I think 7 of 9 targets, something like that. And he's out of the slot. So obviously Buffalo struggles out of the slot. And Buffalo, no matter how good the Rams defense plays, they're going to put up points. So the ball's got to go somewhere. In a passing offense, I do like Cooper Kupp quite a bit this week. Darrell Henderson, Malcolm Brown, who knows? I don't think Buffalo is dominant in the running game as they are in the passing game. I have to see more, though, from Henderson or Malcolm Brown before I really, feel good about starting them. You might not have another choice. There's been a lot of injuries to the running back, and I do like Henderson a little bit more because he's got a little more upside. But, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily feel good about starting either of those. Washington and the Browns. Another game, this one could get ugly. I think it's going to be very, very defensive game. Washington has a great front. They could put pressure. Cleveland's offensive line still looks a little shaky. So, I don't know. Chubb is great. You're starting him, but he's going to have a challenge. I like Kareem Hunt even less because it's going to be a close game. Kareem Hunt is only averaging like 35% of the snaps. So he's another person I recommend selling high on because it's not every week he's going to face the Cleveland Browns. And right now, or the Cincinnati Bengals, and right now, a game like this that's supposed to be close, I don't know how Kareem Hunt's going to get his points. So I'm not really feeling anybody. OBJ might be okay, even though he just finished saying this week that he doesn't expect big numbers. I think if there's any weakness, you could go after Washington. We'll see if Kendall Fuller playing. But I noticed when I watched the film is that they're subject to the big play. Okay? So, but not a game. I mean, Gibson, you got to like his trajectory. He had 65% of the snaps, up from I think 35% his first game. So you got to like that. Cleveland, even though they have been historically bad against running backs, they've been very, very good this year. I don't believe a running back has broken 50 yards. But if anybody could do so, if given the touches, and again, game script is going to be good. Washington will not be playing from behind, and they probably won't be up much either if they're up at all. So this is definitely a good game script for both Antonio Gibson and Nick Chubb, even though the matchup is not there. Very tough matchup for Terry McLaurin. Now, because of the type of volume he gets, you're going to start him, but Denzel Ward has quietly been very, very effective, okay? He shut down A.J. Green last week, all right? And so Terry McLaurin, because they're not going to be throwing like crazy, they're not going to be back, okay? They're not going to be playing from behind like they were against Arizona. Terry McLaurin, while you have to start him if you have him, not the best start this week, okay? That's kind of my takeaways from those games. They don't have a lot of, fantasy player games. Fantasy, it's not a fantasy relevant game as much. That's what I meant to say. All right, guys. Titans and Vikings. Absolutely love Adam Thielen this week. Probably going up against a rookie. Adoree Jackson's out. They're playing at home. He always gets targets. Love Adam Thielen. He looks better than ever, even though Kirk Cousins looks worse than ever. But it doesn't matter. Tennessee's a little more stout against the run, so maybe they could be had in the pass. So, love Adam Thielen this weekend. Dalvin Cook, you're playing him, whatever. It's not the best matchup, but he's at home and he gets volume. From the Titans side, Minnesota's been pretty good against the run. They don't look like as good as they have been in the past. So Derrick Henry, this could be a game he breaks out on the road. Again, I keep thinking on the road like it means something these days, but obviously it doesn't. But I think, I like that Derrick Henry has been getting a lot of volume. A lot of people are worried about him, been asking, Rapper, what's wrong with Henry? He just hasn't gotten a touchdown. That's all. And he's been a historically slow starter. Wouldn't worry about Henry. Fire him up. Adam Humphries. I'm actually starting Adam Humphries, not because I'm crazy about it, but he does lead the league, the team in targets. Not that says much, but he leads the team in targets. Minnesota's Vikings defense is horrible, especially in the secondary. One of those situations where the ball got to go somewhere. John Smith could be another good start. Even though I said to sell him, Minnesota has just been bad defensively, so he's still a good start. He could blow up even further, but that will not change how I feel about John Smith. I still consider him a start because of the amount of targets he gets, but you can watch that video at another time. So I like John Smith. I like Derrick Henry. And I think Humphries could be a sleeper. Corey Davis, a little more busty, but, he does have a potential because, like I said, Minnesota's is like at the bottom when it comes to defending receivers. Vikings side of the ball, it's just Adam Thielen and Dalvin Cook. I mean, do they have anything else? Raiders and Patriots. This is another one that might get surprisingly defensive. I don't know. Las Vegas has looked a little bit better defensively. They're 2-0. I don't know if it's because New Orleans, Drew Brees looks a little old. I don't think he has any air yards, passes, or whatever I read over 20 yards, but that's a different story. They're going to be without Henry Ruggs, so I expect a lot of Josh Jacobs, a lot of Darren Waller, but what does Bill Belichick, what is he a master of? Taking out the other team's best players. So Darren Waller, I'm not in love with the start. It's at New England with no crowd, but they're traveling without Henry Ruggs. Like I said, I think it's going to be a defensive game because I don't think the Patriots are a very potent offense either. They're more of like an efficient offense. So that game script, I don't really like too many players. You're starting Jacobs. Rex Burkhead could be a little sneaky play. I'm actually starting him in a 20-team league just because, it's a 20-team league. Sony Michel looks horrible. James White is out that game, so it could be a little sneaky play there. Julian Edelman's a little banged up, so is Harry, but both players should play. I kind of like both. I have a good feeling about Harry this week. I think, where you could attack Oakland is in the secondary, is on the outside. So I do like Harry. He's looked good. Cam's not the most prolific passer, but he's made wide receivers relevant, including a career game last week by Julian Edelman, most yards he's ever had, but I don't recommend chasing points. So, I don't consider Julian Edelman an automatic start just because he had a career high in week 2, because every week is different, all right? So keep that in mind. So not a game that I really am excited about from a fantasy perspective. Now this next game, I think this could be between the Giants and the San Francisco 49ers. Those are my two favorite teams, by the way, and then third will be Jacksonville, but Just figured I'd throw that in there. I think this could be Daniel Jones coming out party. I think Daniel Jones is a pretty good quarterback. I was very high on him, but his first two games, I mean, does it get any harder than the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Chicago Bears losing Saquon Barkley in that second game? Well, that 49er defense, even though they played good their first 2 weeks, but I mean, last week against the Jets, Arizona, they looked good when they had a full squad, but they still lost and they still let Kyler Murray destroy him on the ground. So now they're out Bosa, they're out Ford, they're out Solomon Thomas, they're out Richard Sherman. They got nothing. They got nothing. I think Slayton's going to have a big game and take advantage of that. Him and Danny got that chemistry. Shepard's out that game. Could be a Golden Tate game as well. I don't have faith in any of the Giants running backs, that's for sure. Deion Lewis, Dahlman, who else they got? I don't know. They just signed Freeman. Doubt he does much. So, more excited about the Giants. Giants defense could even be a play. Nick Mullins didn't look terrible, but I think, when defenses started catching on to him, he didn't look that good either. So Giants defense can be a sneaky play. As far as the 49ers, maybe Jordan Reed, but the Giants defense has been surprisingly better than what we thought they would be, and they've been really good against the tight end. So Jordan Reed's okay, but not a must start, that's for sure. Moving quite along here, the Bengals and the Eagles. This got shootout potential written all over it. We know the Bengals defense is bad, so that automatically puts you closer to a shootout. Everybody's talking junk about Wentz, and he's another one of those players. Just when you think he's down and out, I mean, remember what he did last year. He didn't particularly look good in the beginning last year, and then he went on a streak where he was like a quarterback one every week with Greg Ward as his leading receiver. Well, he's got a little bit better help this year at least, even though the offensive line hasn't played particularly well. But he got his man Deshaun Jackson, Goddard, and Zach Ertz, Miles Sanders. I love Miles Sanders. I mean, we saw what Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb did to Cincinnati, and they're very, very bad against pass-catching backs in particular. So Miles Sanders is arguably like the best running back you want to play. I like both tight ends, Zach Ertz and Goddard. I think Wentz is a sleeper. On the flip side, I like Joe Burrow. They're going to have to keep up with those points. I think even Mixon going to be a sneaky play. I think it's going to be one of those situations where, Zach Taylor's got to hear the whispers. They just signed this guy to a big contract, and then he plays almost as many snaps as Giovanni Bernard, who's, should be retired. It's ridiculous. I know Philadelphia has been good against the run in the past, but I mean, Darrell Henderson did a number on them last week, and Gibson didn't look too bad against them either. I don't think it's an easy matchup, but I'm also not sitting Mixon. Talent over everything. He's the type of player, no matter how bad he looks, he can break out at any time. AJ Green going up against Slade, not the best matchup. Love Tyler Boyd, though, because, again, they're going to have to keep up. They're going to have to put up points. He's playing the slot. That's a better matchup for Cincinnati. So I love Tyler Boyd. I think Mixon's going to play better than people think. I like Joe Burrow trying to keep up with the points. So it's going to be one of those games that has a lot of fantasy relevant players. On the flip side of having a lot of fantasy relevant players, hold on. We're at the halfway point. Feel free, anybody, to send me a super chat. It's always much appreciated. Jets versus Colts. Jets versus Colts. Appreciate you, Steven. Thank you very much, brother. How do you feel about Woods, Metcalf, and Gallup PPR? Should I start, Hunt? I like that. I like that because you're getting a lot of players that are in high-scoring games, my friend. So you got Gallup. Metcalf, I absolutely love. We'll be getting into that further. So Hunt, is a fade for me. Jeff Wilson, super risky. We don't know if it's going to be McKinnon or this guy Jamal Hasty that they just called up. So I would hold off on him, and the Giants have looked better than advertised. So yeah, that we'll do that. That'll be a new deal. If you guys super chat, that's the only way I'll stop and get interrupted. I'll be answering some questions at the end, but if you want your question answered automatically, just send a super chat. We'll get you squared away. Besides that, I'm gonna move on to probably the ugliest game of the week, the Jets and the Colts. I do think Sam Darnold, you got to show us something. You got to show us something. Malik Booker, their safety, the Colts safety is out. Problem is the Jets. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a worse receiving core in the history, like the worst of the worst receiving core any team's ever thrown out there. I mean, the Jets receiving core, even at its best, I mean, it's Brashad Perryman. This guy's been a journeyman. Denzel Mims, he's a rookie. Like, he's raw. Like, he has talent. Jamison Crowder, not attractive. Chris Herndon's a blocker. The offensive line's still bad besides their first-round pick. And now they got Chris Hogan and Braxton Berrios. These guys are like undrafted free agents or just like working at Walmart a couple days ago. It's bad. But man, you gotta make do with what you got. It's not like the Colts are the most greatest defense ever. I just mentioned they lost Booker, so you gotta do something. So hopefully, like Wentz, Darnold's back against the wall. He'll do something. I mean, I wouldn't start. I gotta start him because I'm in a super flex league. Although I might even bench it for Darius Slayton, but that's a topic for another video, I guess. But Drew Lock got hurt, if you're wondering. So yeah, you're probably not starting him, but if not now, then when? You know, no Jets running backs. Forget about that. Colts actually have been pretty good against the run. Colts side of the ball, just Jonathan Taylor and more Jonathan Taylor. And Jonathan Taylor, love Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, I mean, can you really? T.Y. Hilton, another one of those situations. If not now, then when? Kind of like T.Y. Hilton. He had a bad drop last game. His grandma gave him a call, said he's not looking very good. So it's the Jets. It's like the Bengals. What better remedy or Jacksonville? The Jets. So T.Y. is actually a really, really good flex start with even wide receiver one upside. So yeah, moving quite along here. This one could get interesting. The Panthers traveling to the Chargers. Really, really like what I saw out of Justin Herbert. I think he's a solid start. What could hurt Justin Herbert is the fact that the Panthers are so bad against the run. So I absolutely love Austin Eckler. He looked amazing. Like, I was a little worried about him, but then I went back and watched the film. He looked a lot better than Joshua Kelly, even though Joshua Kelly is getting a ton of volume. But again, guys, we can't be selfish because a lot of times when another back gets a lot of volume, it means the primary back can stay fresh, can be efficient. So don't worry about Eckler. I'd be buying him because he looked especially good running the football. I mean, we know what he could do as a pass catcher, but he looked really strong, powering through those holes, even looked more explosive than Joshua Kelly, who's kind of like the bigger back. So I love both, though. I think both could be top 15 plays this week. Then I like Mike Williams. I think this could be a Mike Williams breakout game. They might have this midget, Dante Jackson, who's 5'10". Mike Williams, 6'4", crazy catch radius. They give up the fourth most yards per reception. So I did a whole video on Mike Williams. I absolutely love Mike Williams this week. I think Keenan Allen's a great play as well. There was instant chemistry between him and Herbert. Herbert was targeting him early and often. And again, it's the Carolina Panthers. So Keenan Allen is also an excellent play. So you're firing up basically all your Chargers. Even Hunter Henry, I think, could be put up low TE1 numbers as well. From the Panthers side of the ball, though, I think Mike Davis has some bust potential. Chargers been surprisingly good against the run. Just great defensively altogether. Not feeling Teddy Bridgewater. DJ Moore will have a safe floor based on volume, but also not the best matchup due to the various corners, or maybe they'll just put Hayward on him because they do move him around. But either way you go, if it's Hayward, if it's Desmond Keane, if it's Chris Harris, you got a good corner on you. But you know, volume is gonna have him from being a total bust, but not the best matchup for DJ Moore or Robbie Anderson for that matter. So I think there are going to be a bunch of couple 30. I don't think anybody's going to break 20 points on the Panthers side of the ball. Buccaneers and Broncos. So Broncos are depleted in the secondary. AJ Bouye's out. Not that they were that good to begin with. Von Miller's out for the year. But Broncos, surprisingly, they got a defensive coach. And they play good defense at home. And part of that, even though there's not going to be fans, part of that's like the air. You got to adjust to that Denver air. But at the same time, I love Chris Godwin a lot more than Mike Evans. But Mike Evans could do decent. He's going to have a great matchup. Leonard Fournette is interesting. James Conner did a number on them. But again, I just was saying Denver is better at home. So Leonard Fournette has some upside, but it's a little risky because we just don't know if he's, we thought Dobbins was going to take over the backfield after his week 1 performance, and then, they kind of scaled back week 2. So we don't know if that's going to happen again for Fournette or not. I do think his floor is the amount of snaps that he saw last week, which is about in the high 40s. So you should get about 50% of the snaps, but we don't know if that's going to be enough or if he's going to get more than that because, Rojo's still healthy, and he hasn't looked that bad either, but definitely not Fournette. So that's a little risky. Godwin's the play there. I think Tom Brady could be a solid play as well. The Broncos side of the ball, Tampa Bay's defense has looked amazing. I think they've looked the best all year. So not exactly good news for guys like Melvin Gordon. We know Tampa Bay Buccaneers are great against the run, have a really good pass rush. So, if Jerry Jeudy plays, that's up in the air still. I think he'll be a safe floor based on volume. That guy looks unstoppable. His separation and route running is ridiculous. I recommend buying him as well. Some bonus coverage there for you guys. Go after Jeudy, even if he sits, because then he'll even be cheaper. So, Judy's going to be one of those guys. Remember how last year we had all those rookie receivers who started off slow, like Metcalf, like Deebo Samuel, like A.J. Brown. Remember how those guys ended? I think Jerry Jeudy's going to be that guy this year. Not too much to nobody startable. You got Melvin Gordon, you're starting him, and Jerry Jeudy maybe as a wide receiver 3, but not too much to see here. This is a game where you could start a lot of people. Lions and Cardinals. Kyler Murray is on fire. DeAndre Hopkins, number 1 overall receiver. Christian Kirk's out. I think this could be a Larry Fitzgerald game. I do like Larry Fitzgerald, depending on what type of situation. Like I said, there's been a ton of injuries. You might want to start Larry Fitzgerald as well. Detroit, I love Matt Stafford. He's got his boy Kenny Golladay back. Arizona's at home. They're going to put up points. Detroit's defense is bad. And because Detroit's defense is so bad, they've actually been worse against the run. Drake is an amazing start this week. And Detroit's going to have to keep up with that. Detroit's not a running team at all. So Matt Stafford is a awesome start this week. I think Kenny Golladay, Patrick Peterson isn't what he was. I know Kenny Golladay is not at 100%, but that guy's so good, he doesn't need to be at 100%. In a high-scoring game, I do like him. Now Marvin Jones doesn't have all that pressure. Marvin Jones could be even a solid start as well. Hawkinson's decent just based on the type of game this is going to be. It's going to be fireworks. If you're a betting guy, I don't know what the over-under is, but I'd probably take the over. Cowboys and Seahawks. These are the 2 games you want as many players possible. Like if you're borderline flex and you're talking about a Cowboy or a Cardinal, like if you don't know who to start and you got Larry Fitzgerald, because there's going to be a lot of points scored, go Larry Fitzgerald. This is another game. You're starting everybody. I don't like Blaine Schultz. I think that was a product of the game last week. Well, Dallas, every game is going to be a shootout, but Atlanta has been known for being bad against tight ends, so I don't like Dallas tight end at all. Michael Gallup might be seeing the most of, what's this guy's name? Guy that got arrested. I just drew a blank. Dunbar, yeah. So it's not a shutdown corner, but Gallup hasn't been getting the targets, but I love CeeDee Lamb. Really love CeeDee Lamb. He's becoming a every week start. It's such a huge advantage having somebody that talented, despite him being a rookie, against another team's third corner when the defense has to worry about Zeke, about Gallup, about Amari Cooper, and then you get a guy with that talent that's just seeing some scrub corner one-on-one. CeeDee Lamb is a wide receiver 3, possibly a wide receiver 2 the rest of the year. Love CeeDee Lamb. Amari Cooper's a great start. Dak Prescott. These are 2 of the worst defenses. It's going to be fireworks. Russell Wilson looks unstoppable. Love DK Metcalf. Love Tyler Lockett. Love Chris Carson. Dallas won't be able to stop the run as well. This could be a breakout game, actually, for Chris Carson, and that actually might hurt the other guys because Dallas is just bad all over, and they might want to control the clock because Dallas defense is so good and Seattle's defense is so bad. But this is the type of analysis that you get from here. I try to predict games. Don't tell you what. Not a robot. I don't repeat what I hear. I try to predict what's going to happen, so that'll help you with your teams. And these are the games you want to get in. I'm going to have a link for the premium in-season content. You guys can donate if you want. Patreon, I'm going to have the link. It's $1 a month, or give me a super chat. Everything. Guys, I really go back and watch every single game. Like, it's Saturday night, and I'm talking to you guys. It's Friday night last night, and I was watching film. Like, I'm really, really dedicated to this. In order to give you the best, like, I need to do this full time. In order to do that, I need your support. So it's not me begging. Just if you appreciate, every little bit counts. I'm gonna finish up here with the primetime games, the Sunday night games, Packers and Saints. I think this could be a low-scoring game. Aaron Rodgers didn't really look that good against Detroit. It was the Aaron Jones show. Doesn't have his main weapon, Devontae Adams. New Orleans doesn't have their main weapon, Michael Thomas. They don't look the same without him, especially Drew Brees. Never had a strong arm. Always said he was overrated, and he is showing it. So I think, and the Saints defense is actually pretty good, but where they can be had is where Devontae Adams would have been, but he's out. But the more likely person to take over that is Allen Lazard. I could picture them moving him around, putting him in the slot where New Orleans is most weak. So I do like Allen Lazard over MVS. MVS, more of the deep threat, will be playing in the perimeter. Allen Lazard better equipped to play the slot. So I think he could be a sneaky play, but I don't think this is going to be a game like Detroit and Arizona, Dallas and Seattle, where there's going to be a lot of points scored. Saints side of the ball, I don't really like their receivers. It's going to be Kamara, and for the Packers, it's going to be Aaron Jones, and then a little bit of Allen Lazard. So those are really the only three players. I don't like either Drew Brees or Aaron Rodgers in this game either. Chiefs and Ravens, I don't really have to tell you much, but I've been saying Marquise Brown like every single rap. I think he finally gets it together because the Chiefs will be without both starting corners. Breeland's out for the year. Ward has a fractured hand. He may or may not play. We don't know. But I do think when the lights are brightest, a guy by the name of Hollywood is probably going to bring the heat. So I really like Hollywood this week. Mark Andrews, I don't really have to say too much. The running back situation is murky. I mean, week 1, week 2, Dobbins looked amazing as well, but he just didn't get the volume. So it looks like a full-blown committee right now, but this is one of those talent over everything situations. Even if it takes mid-season, you want to hold on to Dobbins because he is a league winner. The guy has looked amazing. Don't let that deter you from the fact that coaches, there's politics. Just like there's politics at your work, there's politics in the NFL. Coaches are very loyal to their guys. Ingram, the elder statesman, Gus Edwards has looked really good too. But guys, don't get it twisted. You need to stash J.K. Dobbins. Do not trade him. I've been getting a lot of people asking me, hey, should I trade him? No. You're not trading J.K. Dobbins because you can't get full value for him, and he can easily be a running back 1 rest of the year at any point. The only thing that has to happen is for that to turn into a 2-man backfield. Because if it turns to a 2-man backfield, that's plenty for Dobbins. In that offense, with his talent as a pass catcher, as a runner, he's looked explosive. Love J.K. Dobbins. Can't say enough about him, but I'd be lying if I told you, which running back's going to be this particular game. So it's not the best start. Flex at best for any one of those runners. Not Gus Edwards, but either Ingram or J.K. Dobbins. So just really Marquise, Lamar, Andrews, but really the running backs, unless you're really desperate, not recommending any of the running backs. Kansas City side of the ball, just the usual suspects, Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, but again, Baltimore's really, really good. So, there's not going to be any extra people. I'm not recommending a Sammy Watkins or a Miko. Not the best game for CEH, but I'm also not benching him either because he is a integral. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Part of this offense. Well, there you have it, guys. My start sits. Just a reminder, if you appreciate, just give me a thumbs up, a like. Unless you want to give me a super chat, appreciate that. I also just created a Patreon link. It's $1 a month for your support, or if you want the premium content, it's $9.99 a month. These lives are now going to be exclusive, so I'm going to do it exclusive to the premium members, and then I'll post it on YouTube afterwards. So if you want to assure yourself that you get these start sit questions answered, this will be the only way to do so. And yeah, I'm gonna give you guys the floor now to ask some questions. I appreciate you guys staying the length of the time. The patrons either gonna, or if you hit me up on the slide, if you want the whole year, I'll give you $20 the whole year, and it's 4 emails. That's the waiver wire gem email with free agents, trade targets, buy, sell, hold, complete list. Rankings on Thursday, updated rankings today. I'm sending you guys the standard ones. You guys should already have the PPR rankings. If you don't, let me know. I'll give you the whole season though for $20 if you DM me on the side or email me fantasyfootballrapper@gmail.com. The DFS group, that'll be in the Patreon. It's $50 a month or $150 for the season. A lot of winners already. If you don't know, 6-figure earner on there. Made it to championships. People winning money already. So definitely let me know. All right, guys. Questions? Go ahead. Let's get it. I'm ready. Gallup or Mclaren? I like Mclaren. Woods or Slayton? I like Slayton. Corey Davis, AJ Green, or David Johnson? Standard flex. I'll go with David Johnson. Swift, David Johnson, or Gibson. That's tough. I would go Gibson. Hurst or Hunt. I guess Hunt, but I like Hurst. I don't like starting tight ends, but I like Slayton over Terry. Terry Slayton or Gurley. Definitely Terry Slayton. Get rid of Gurley. What the hell are you doing in this place with Gurley? Goddard or Higbee? I think I like Goddard more this week. Odell or AJ Green. I would go Odell. There's 27 of you guys in here. Only 20 likes. My haters are increasing by the moment. Gage or Robbie. Don't really like either, but I'll go Gage. What's good, rapper? What's up, Brian? Nice seeing you, bud. Brian's always supporting. Solomon. I love that name. Such a powerful name. Solomon. Sounds like you're going to conquer the world. Gibson, Slayton, flex. I like Slayton more than Gibson. I think Slayton's going to go off on the Niners. Trade really for Jay Taylor? I would. Odell and Singletary for Mclaren next week. Huh? Thielen, Odell, or Slayton? I would go Slayton and Thielen. Should I trade DJ Moore for Deontay Johnson and Mike Davis? I don't know about that. I would probably stay still, to be honest. Goddard or David Johnson? I think I like Goddard, man. I'm not a David Johnson fan. Even though Melvin Gordon looked pretty good against Pittsburgh, but I don't know. And I hate starting tight ends over positional players, but you know, when you're talking about guys like Gurley and David Johnson, I definitely not Gurley. I wouldn't start anybody over Gurley, or Gurley over anybody. Should I? Darren Waller, no fan. That's a really good question, actually. I want to lean towards fan. It just seems like Driscoll is just targeting. I mean, we know Derek Carr was targeting the hell out of, Darren Waller as well, but I just respect New England's defense a lot more than, well, I respect Tampa a lot too. I know, you know what, I talk myself out of it. Darren Waller, just because he's a little safer. At least he's got his boy Derek Carr, and there's no rug, so he's gonna get his shirt target. He's got to do something. Woods, Galladay, or Metcalf? Oh, definitely Metcalf. Metcalf's on fire, guys. You're not starting anybody. Ben, Trubisky, or Herbert? I actually like Herbert. Schultz or Sample? I would go with Sample in a shootout. Pick 2, PPR, Galladay, DJ Moore, Mike Davis, Woods. I would go Galladay and Moore. I think Woods is pretty good too, though. Actually, still go Galladay and Moore. Cleveland D versus Skins or Pitt D versus Texans. I gotta go Cleveland. Yeah, Haskins sucks. Appreciate it, Champa. Will Woods draw White as matchup? Here's the thing, guys. There's no such thing as matchups. I hate to break it to you. See, it's not your fault. You guys get really bad advice. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like, I'm happy in a way because it keeps me in business, but there's no such thing as a matchup. And you're probably like, what do you mean, rapper? Here's the thing, guys. Receivers move all around. Like, that's how you know analysts don't analyze and don't watch film, and that's what makes me different. If you watch fucking football, you'll know that there's no shadow corners. They usually play one side. Woods moves around, Terry moves around, Moore moves around, Hopkins moves around, Juju moves around, Deontay Johnson moves around. Everybody moves around. So this idea of corners is just bullshit. I don't think Woods is going to get that type of treatment. Mike Davis or Joshua Kelly. And Woods is good, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going out of my way to stop him, to start him, but if you have him, you probably are. Juju, Godwin, or Galladay in standard? Godwin, I guess. Deontay Johnson or Fournette? I'll go Deontay Johnson. Hooper, Lazard, or Scotty Miller? Lazard. I think Lazard's a sneaky play. Traded Chris Carson, Kareem Hunt for Clyde and Tom Brady 12 man. I like it. Carson's risky. I like CH a lot. Tom Brady. I mean, I don't care about quarterbacks, but what do you think Galladay being not 100%? Not too worried about it. Are you concerned with Deontay Johnson getting more targets? Guys, two people could coexist, but I do think Deontay Johnson's look better than Juju. Juju, Galladay, or D-Mont in standard. Because it's standard, I probably go Montgomery, but I don't exactly feel. That's tough, man. Probably Montgomery, but I don't know. I like Juju a lot this week. Mike Davis or Gurley, terrible, but I guess Davis. Robbie Anderson, Deontay Johnson. Oh, Deontay Johnson for sure. Who are the next tier wide receivers rest of the season? I think Deontay Johnson could be one of them. Galladay, Godwin, Juju. But yeah, DK Metcalf for sure. I love DK Metcalf. Love what I've seen out of him. Super talented. Russ is great. Cooper Kupp even. Or Thielen. Love Thielen. Would you trade A-Rob and Connor for Drake? A-Rob and Connor for Drake. I don't know about that. Your thoughts on Cam Newton? I would sell. I'm not sold yet. I'm gonna answer one more minute, guys. If you want the in-season premium content for the $20 deal, just DM me on the site or email me fantasyfootballrapper@gmail.com. If not, I'll leave a Patreon link. It's $9.99 per month or $20 if you hit me up on the side. And the DFS, $50 a month or $150 for the season. And if you just want to give me general support, I do appreciate it. It's $1 a month. And that just, gotta make these videos, gotta make these thumbnails. I don't do thumbnails. I don't do graphic design or video editing or stuff. So I gotta pay somebody. So, yeah. I gotta spend $5,000 on a website now too. Who do you like rest of the season? Michael Pittman, KJ. I think they're all pretty much kind of busty. I think if I had to pick, maybe Claypool, but I don't know. Hamler looked pretty good though. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, I hope that's for a deeper league. Any of those three are not the best. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. Hit me up if you're interested in anything I said. Until next time. Good luck. Peace.